back to Game of Who, the show where three morons blather on for an hour about irrelevant crap related to doctors and wizards. I'm Jordan, that's Sven, and here's our resident handless prisoner himself, Mr. Pedro Mateus. This week's episodes are Hide and now his watch has ended.
All right, so I guess we're going to kick off directly with Doctor Who and throw down with our first impressions, Master Sveng. Hide, Boogie Boogie. What'd you think?
Boogity. Yeah, I like that they're keeping the whole the TARDIS has a personality thing in mind, and it's like I picked the most appropriate person for you to speak to in lieu of my actual self, and it's Oswin. She's like, "Oh, you are a cow," and I'm like, "Yeah."
How about the atmosphere, man? Were you digging?
Yeah, you know what? I was a bit concerned given the past 2 weeks episodes, but I think the atmosphere here really sold it.
Yeah, the hairs on my arms were actually standing upright for the first 10 minutes of the show. It was awesome. Great job.
Yeah, no, this episode was a marked improvement over the last couple of weeks of schlock. But
in all honesty, that's not saying a whole lot. Yeah,
that's not saying a whole lot. But I actually really like this episode. But you know what? The main villain of this thing, the Crooked Man. I don't know. I saw him and I'm like, if I were the Doctor, I'd just like slap him right across the face. I don't know. I see that thing and I'm just like, slap him. Slap him.
Although it looks like someone already did, because judging by how his face is, kind of feels like someone's already taken a big hand to it.
He needs to be slapped more. He needs to be slapped constantly. Well, I don't know. What about you, Ben? Apparently this has brought up some nostalgia for you.
Well, that's kind of the big thing I took from it. This is apparently about a doctor who travels in time with a woman named Clara.
Hey, Ven, I keep telling you this. It's the power of love.
Yeah, the power of love. But, again, this is being forced down our throats, and this is just first impression. That we get it. The TARDIS doesn't like Oz for the win. But, I kind of liked Oz for the Win's reaction about seeing Earth in its beginning all the way to the end.
Yeah,
that's... Go ahead.
Sorry, something that doesn't get brought up a lot with the companions is the implications of these people knowing that they're traveling in time and they're far in the future, and it's like, you hear it mentions like, oh yeah, so I'm buried there, and then it's never really brought up again. This one, it actually kind of messed with her a bit. And I think that was a more realistic reaction to being positive with that scenario.
That's the thing. Most of their companions had some relatability to them. Oswin, now she's got a bit more depth to her personality, but she's still kind of a blank slate.
Well, I kind of like how she just addresses, like, oh, we're all ghosts to you, aren't we? It's like, yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Yep. You know what? I want to bring this up though. One thing I like about her character development is I do like the sort of subtle things they do with like the friendship between the Doctor and Clara. Like after they pull her out of the him out of the alternate pocket universe, they do a little high five, and I thought that was kind of cute.
Yeah, but then they do it multiple times and get kind of old.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. First impressions.
Well, you guys pretty much covered most of it. Although I'm going to reiterate one of Jordan's points, which was when the TARDIS projected that hologram thing in order to talk to Oswin. It pretty much calls her a narcissist when it explains why it chose that. Amazing.
I was kind of digging on that. Overall, yeah, I mean, infinitely better than the last two, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Definitely.
So
Most.
why don't we just go ahead and jump into what's wrong with it?
Apparently, they're taking timekeeping lessons from Frieza.
What do you mean?
I'll be out of power in 4 seconds, and I'll be dead.
Oh, you
in
noticed that too. What is it?
And it's
10
just like,
seconds.
and I counted it like 1.
That's exactly what I did. I was like, wait a minute.
3, 4. Okay, you're dead. 1. and you're stuck there. Wait, no, not quite. Okay. It's not like the TARDIS would know its own limitations and whatnot. And but
Well, the TARDIS even told Oz for the win, and it's like, nope, can't do that. And then it was like, okay, I can do that.
Suddenly, yeah. Like I said, they're I think they're taking lessons about how long like a second is from Frieza.
But didn't it really warm your heart cockles, with...
Honestly, that the last scene where they're like diving into the pocket universe twice almost ruined the episode for me. I just fucking you were watching me watch the. Oh wait, no, you hung up on the call when about midway through the episode, but near the end, like as she's swooping in, he's like, "Oh, grab on!" I'm just like, ugh.
Well, of course, random space alien from millions of years ago, understands some English, even though the TARDIS translation matrix, not there, whatever, it was there at some point. That's right.
Yeah. What really bugged me about this episode?
Oh, tell me.
We were teased with some kind of answer as to what the fuck was going on, or even just more teasers, but nothing happened.
Yep.
Nothing.
Right.
We're getting our dicks pulled.
Well, you got to remember, I mean, you kept on with the power of love, and I'm...
Oh yeah. Power of love, 3 out of 3.
Yeah.
3 for 3 for
we're
the power
batting
of love.
1,000 on this, but then again, you got to remember that the power of love, just for Stormageddon, will magically reverse a Cyberman mind wipe, remember?
Yes, but that was Stormageddon, Dark Lord of all.
Yes, which should be a more prominent character, in my opinion.
You know what? I'm gonna name my kid Stormageddon. I think that's a great name for children.
But to talk about something Pedro mentioned earlier, man, with the hologram, I don't think it works that way. It's pre-recorded. The TARDIS cannot directly communicate with the Doctor. Didn't we go through that whole thing with the Doctor's wife?
Yeah, kinda, sort of. Actually, when that first popped up, I thought it was like the TARDIS like telepathically communicating with Oswin, but I guess not.
Well, the Doctor was fiddling around with the TARDIS controls on the last episode when he reset the danger sensing thing. And
the
maybe
the danger sensing thing that apparently can't detect submarines.
Yep. And maybe he fiddled with something else, and now the TARDIS can communicate directly with people.
Anyway, I'm just morbo on that, and it does not work that way according, to legend. It's not canon. But what's your issues?
Well, now that you mention according to the legends, I'm pretty sure I heard both Eccleston and Tennant saying that driving the TARDIS wasn't an exact science.
Now, do you know why that is? You're supposed to have, how many is it, Jordan? 6 Time Lords?
6. Yeah, 6. Well, 6
Yep.
anything really. But I mean, you go back to Miss River Song, the Doctor's second wife, I guess, and yeah, she was able to fly the TARDIS pretty adequately. Actually, better than the Doctor with only just one person.
Yeah,
so.
well, he liked leaving that parking brake on, but yeah, go ahead, Pedro.
Oh,
and now, on this episode, the Doctor takes the TARDIS to the exact same spot in 4 different times of history, and then comes right back to the exact same spot from where he left. No problems, no issues, no nothing.
Well, you got a point there. I mean, it's always been an inexact thing, but coming back to the doctor's wife in that episode when she was talking to the doctor, she did say, he's like, you never take me where I want to go, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she says, I take you where you need to go.
Yeah, something along that. What else you got for the problems?
Yeah, there was that, and then, like Jordan said, we were teased with some sort of explanation as to how, Oswin came to be, the new companion, explain where she came from. Freaking origins. Actual origins, not that teeny tiny thing. And now, this episode went by, we got nothing. And I was hoping that maybe, let's hold that off for another week. And now they tease it again. But no, this time the teasers at the end were for the second Alien movie, except there was no Sigourney Weaver in it. Weaver in it.
But at least, I mean, at the end of that teaser, opened everyone here up. They're going to venture into the heart of the TARDIS.
Yeah. I mean, the heart of the TARDIS has
Haven't
always
we already been there?
It's always been a controversial thing. I mean, the last time the TARDIS actually let someone that close was Billie Piper, and we know what she did with it.
Yeah, doesn't it cause your mind to explode? Well, what about Nobleman?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
I think everyone gets curb stomped except for Martha Jones with the TARDIS. What do you think, man?
I don't know. Captain Jack came out of it pretty well.
Yeah, but he probably had sexual relations.
Well, of course. he got to the heart of that blue box, if you catch my meaning.
Yeah, I get you.
But yeah, it's not the heart of the TARDIS though. It's just the center of the TARDIS. And yeah, you know what? It could be interesting. I can see this episode getting either really, really good or really, really shitty.
Yeah, I think it's going to be another one of those teases. I think it's going to be sludging through the entire beginning. Then we're going to get to like the last 10 minutes like they did with what we're about to talk about, Game of Thrones, and just blow your brain organ.
Oh, yeah.
But here's...
So how about that?
No. I got a couple of conspiracy theories here.
Oh, yeah?
Doctor Who related. Intentional, unintentional. TARDIS blue.
As you said earlier, it's clearly pinned so that you can see two hearts.
Right. With the TARDIS blue, and this is a shot from the rings of Aken. What is it?
Akaten.
Blue shirt, two hearts. That one kind of got me thinking, and of course, if you don't know, I don't know why you're watching this, that's Oz for the win. And that
Maybe Oswin.
But here's another thing that someone else brought up. What if that's Oswin?
I still say that shirt has way too many buttons. Way more buttons than are necessary.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Like,
no, I agree with you, man. If he would just take the metal thing off too, that'd be nice.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't notice the two hearts thing. I don't know. Are you mind you with River we were predicting the return of the Rani or Romana or some such. I think this is another one of Moffat's trolls. He's gonna lead us in one direction and then take a left turn.
You know, man, I can see him trolling us with this, but something that all right, yes, that could go either way. Something that obscure could be stupidly relevant, or it could be, as you said, Master Svang, an absolute 100% troll to get the conspiracy thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I just thought I would point that out for our crackpot theory of the week. Two hearts.
We can have a little logo for that in post. Crackpot theory of the week.
Brought to you by Whammo. But no, man, that's enough of that.
Brought
Let's
to you
get
by
in
Log.
To Game of Who. First impressions. Oh, man. Check this out. Cersei got put in her motherfucking place. That made me extremely happy.
That made you happy, Funvin?
Happy Funvin. You know, the whole Tywin's heart-to-heart with Cersei pretty much shattered her own little worldview about, you know, I liked how he put, and he's like, it's not that you're a woman that I don't respect your thoughts, it's that you're incompetent.
You're not as smart as you think you are.
Yes. What are your thoughts on that?
You know what? I got to agree with Tywin on that. Cersei's intelligence tends to come from the fact, well, she it's not really hers. She has a lot of contacts by virtue of her being a Lannister, and by being selected to be Robert's bride. I mean, like, she hasn't really done anything on her own. Any of her little schemes have never come to fruition because of her planning.
Yeah. And she's been on a pretty high horse since Tyrion stopped being the Hand of the King. She's been feeling superior, and she's been feeling like she's in control. And, well, that pretty much kicked her out of it, didn't it?
Well, I think to a point. And she realized that she was going to be losing control of Joffrey. But, you know, on top of that, with our first impressions, continuing on with mine, you know, I've never seen a man drink horse piss so fast.
Oh no! Well, I mean, when you're thirsty, you got to pull a Bear Grylls.
But didn't it beg the question: what are they doing with a flask of horse piss?
Bear Grylls. I was just gonna say Bear Grylls in the Maiden Fair, but well, you know what? A flask of horse piss might come in handy. Who knows?
Antiseptic, maybe.
Well, you know,
if you have a former Kingsguard in your captive and you kind of want to give him a little troll.
Yep.
And my last little bit from my first impressions. You know, I have not read of any of Martin's fan fiction based on the HBO original series. So I don't know what he's on about with future books. Yeah, I called this, bitches. And you know what I'm talking about.
She speak a language.
Speak on the language. Yeah.
Not only does she speak it, she's native in it.
That really made me happy seeing that. I kind of assume it. They laid it on, for me anyway, in the past 2 episodes, a bit thick that she did. You know, with
it was getting pretty obvious. I mean, in the first one, it was passable. She was doing a good job at pretending not to understand. But yeah.
But come on, like the whole heel turn with the dragons incinerating her. I called that last week.
Wow. You've read some of that fan fiction, man.
You know what? I haven't read that far into it.
All right. Level playing field.
I'm purposefully lagging a book or 2 behind so that nothing for the TV series, nothing gets ruined anyways.
First impressions.
One misfortune and you're giving up. You're like a damn woman. Brienne of Tarth, master of irony.
Who apparently sounds like Sean Connery.
That's his anything other than Portuguese accent.
If Pedro is to be believed.
But no, that line was amazing. I mean, Jamie is all emo and like, oh, I lost my hand and I'm going to die. I'm waiting to die. And she's like, really? That happens to you and you're just going to lay there? Okay, you're kind of a bitch.
Yeah. You're a pussy. This is coming from the person with the actual pussy.
Yep.
But she's got an army, right?
Yeah, she's got an army now. 4,000 unsullied.
And some youths, right?
Well, it's the 4,000 Unsullied, the 3 dragons, some Dothraki.
8,000.
8,000, yeah. And some... How many Dothraki are still alive from her group?
Not many.
5?
Yeah, the last we saw of them, they were kind of hurling on a boat. But you got to remember, even the Dothraki that are left are not the big warrior ones. They were the ones that just kind of hung out, you know.
Yep.
They're the ones that stuck with Danny. Yeah.
But I'm sure they will still play an important role in the coming battles. Maybe. Possibly.
Maybe. So Pedro, I guess a recurring theme of this episode is women with balls.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because even though she hasn't hit puberty yet, Arya Stark once again proves she has the biggest balls in the room. Nice.
Oh, even despite the fact that she has no balls. She has...
Yep.
As best we know, she doesn't, nor the actress portraying her. Yeah, that was kind of fun in their little cave area with the hound, or the dog.
The Hund.
The hound. Thought that was interesting, but then again, I was like, we're wasting time. I was like, oh, now you fight me. And I was like, well, why don't you fight the god thing? That would be more entertaining. Dance monkeys.
And apparently they're all a bunch of lordless religious fanatics that believe in the Lord of Light.
So what?
Lord of Light.
What about? I had a fantastic time when he's talking to Dinklage, the eunuch. The whole time he's like, "Let me tell you a story about a wizard." And all about how my life got turned upside down and my dick got cut off and shit.
And sent to Bel Air.
Crazy how those just worlds collide right at the end of that story, right? This goes on. I just love the entire time, and he's prying open the crate. I thought that was beautiful.
Yeah.
Yep, that was one of the best scenes in this episode. Was he's like taking his time, slowly prying the crate open, telling his story, and then he does the reveal about the voice, and because you burn a guy's junk and a voice comes from beyond and talks to you. So
you know what? When I light my testicles on fire, I hear voices too. So
I mostly see colors and pass out, but yeah.
No, Jordan suffers from detachment syndrome.
Something like that.
But yeah, so apparently eunuchs can hold grudges, or he's just looking for closure and trying to figure out what the voice was. Maybe it was like Jordan.
That whole thing, I love the speech.
Maybe it was me.
About revenge and how you gain influence and all that. It's going to be interesting to see what he does. I don't think that captive magic man is going to be a throwaway plot device.
Maybe. But yeah. So how about that Babylon 5 style torturing of Theon Greyjoy? I like that.
No, what do you mean? I mean, I've watched all of Babylon 5, but it was
when they capture Sheridan and they have him in the cell and then they pretend to like take him to be executed and then they just bring him back to the cell.
Yep.
Now, like I said, not reading any of the Martin fan fiction, I didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
So that caught me off guard.
How very great.
It was pretty great because, Theon actually escaped the poetical justice of getting a big throbbing, up his ass.
You are really hung up about this, aren't you?
He loves it, man. He's anal
you
about it.
You really want to see that guy sodomized. What's up with that?
Yep.
No, and it was kind of like, what the hell are you talking about? It was like, oh, and I came back for my father. Then at the end, it was like all whipping down, and he's like, but my real father died at King's Landing. And I was like, oh, just stab him. Now. Make with the stabbing.
No, he doesn't stab him. He takes him right back and reveals that was whole a plot just to break his spirit. Up yours, Theon.
But speaking of crossovers from Doctor Who and Game of Thrones, there was another little crossover that was Blinken. You missed it. This time from the Torchwood side of things.
Now, which character was this?
This was one of the Night's Watchmen. I saw the guy who was you're a bastard. You're a godless, maudling bastard.
Call me a bastard again, and I'll cut off your things.
Yeah, basically. I thought to myself, that guy looks familiar. No, it can't be. Credits roll. Mr. Bern Gorman, Owen Harper from Torchwood.
Yep.
Nuclear power plant guy.
Yeah, zombie guy.
Yep.
You know, it'd be really funny if he gets turned into a White Walker. This is like 2 for 2.
Now, who saw this coming? Now, with the rebellion, you get, not all Night's Watch or, disenchanted lords or anything like that that was in there. They're thieves, murderers, and rapists. Now, I could see like a small rebellion, but I didn't see them like just straight up turning on each other like that.
And they actually killed the captain of the Night's Watch.
Yeah, but he almost had to choke a bitch.
Yeah, well, you can tell exactly when the point that he missed his saving throw against bleeding. Because he was like throttling the other guy and then was like...
Pedro, that's a constitution check at best.
No, it's
Learn
a fortitude
to Dungeons and
throw.
Dragons.
It's a fortitude saving throw.
Yeah, you're using all second edition saves, Mr. I'm going to mix up my versions. Pick one and stick with it. Anyways, yeah, but the aftermath of that brawl, I think, is going to be pretty interesting. With Fatty Bo Betty running off with Miss Incest and her bastard.
But I think you were saying that Jamie's having a problem with the masturbation, eh?
Yeah, you know what? He is really taking the loss of his wanking hand really hard.
Giggity.
He just can't bring himself to part with it.
Yeah, he's just like, I'm trying to kill myself.
That hand was everywhere, man. It was like riding on his shirt, sitting on his face. So many digits we could
it's like
stick.
Thing from the Addams Family.
Oh, Pedro would love that. He's like, I wonder how many of his fingers we could stick up,
Yeah.
Yep. That was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, one special mention.
But we really do have to give Mr. Lannister a hand. He's been quite the trooper.
But one more special mention for the I can't remember the character's name. The Tyrell grandmother, the matriarch.
Yeah, really starting to like her.
Yeah, she's awesome. She's really smart, and she knows how to play things safe. And she took the fact that she realized that she was being spied on in her stride, just like that.
It's like, I'm not sure how it would work out with non-existent parts bumping into
decrepit parts.
Yeah. Thought that was brilliant.
Yep.
So, that is our first impressions. Let's get into some problems.
So, Ven, I hear you're taking some issues with halitosis?
Well, here's the thing. Little dragon. Well, yeah.
It's a chicken.
It's human-sized at this point.
Yeah. He's a fish. All right. Now, when, he Jimi Hendrix, the main dude, holding him with a chain, I was like, all right, digging that. But then they did that cutaway pan shot where he's coming across the top of the wall, and it's just everywhere. And that is just way too much happy, fun love breath for such a little dragon. That's all I'm saying. And my other, small, it's not even a problem, more of an observation WTF type thing. is Tyrion's squire, Podrick? Podrick.
Podrick.
We're calling him
Podrick Payne.
cock smasher. What the hell? Everyone's like, well, it's not that long. What did he do to those ladies?
You know, I smell a running gag.
Well, they kind of need one.
I don't know.
And using the squire makes sense because he did save Tyrion's life, so he kind of became an important secondary character at that point.
I even asked some people, who've read Martin's fan fiction based on the HBO original series, and they said that really doesn't take place in his fan fiction. So I'm just really disappointed that he's not, keep on writing books based on the HBO show, but try to keep it like true to the source material that HBO's putting out, man. Come on.
Righto.
So what's the issues?
Yes. Well, Joffrey is no longer hated. Actually, even from the watcher perspective, I no longer even feel like slapping him. He's becoming relatable. Okay, he's still a bitch, but he's becoming relatable. And as much as I like to see Marjorie slowly wrapping him around her finger and making Queen Bitch Cersei all kinds of jealous, so much in fact that she goes running straight to Daddy at... Okay, you know what? Nope, that's not a problem.
Well,
That was actually pretty awesome.
Cersei, I think, is starting to hate Joffrey because it was pointed out to her by Daddy that you can't control him. You've been letting him run roughshod. So maybe she's going to stop.
Yeah, I like that. The Tyrell girl has her talons and Joffrey. She's controlling him. He's like, good.
Yes. It's like about time.
That whole conversation, that whole heart-to-heart was like one burn after another for Cersei.
Absolutely.
Every time
I'm really starting to like Tywin as a character.
No, I mean, Tywin just like stood up with his mic and dropped it and walked out of the room after that. Brilliant. Loved it. What else you got?
And then, well, I guess I pretty much rake on Sansa in every episode, so... in Portuguese, we have a word to which there is no direct translation to English, and it can actually be used to describe Sansa perfectly. That word is sonsa. S-O-N-S-A.
Does that mean sodomy?
No,
I think it might mean sodomy.
But everything in Portuguese meant sodomy, huh?
Yeah.
We love our sodomy.
Your dictionary has one page
not
and it just says sodomy.
Oh no, that sticker's right behind the...
It's a picture of dicks and butts.
No. That's right behind the monitors. You can actually see it because, camera's in front of it. So, yeah. But no, Sansa actually used to mean one thing, but over time the meaning has changed. And right now, the socially accepted meaning of the word is gullible, white bread, dull, along those lines. And yep, that's Sansa.
I get the whole idea that like Sansa's defining character trait is horrible shit happens to her. Oh, look at that poor little girl. But honestly, like the minutes that she spends on screen, I feel are incredibly wasted.
Yeah.
Yep.
I kind of feel that that's
not a
part
very
of the
compelling
direction,
character.
man. You see, I was like, why didn't you do something when you had the opportunity? She had the opportunity to off Joffrey.
Yep.
She did, or at least get him off, but that never happened.
But, with a new chick who is playing him the right way, at least he's like, oh, well, maybe he actually is into the Goyles.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Maybe he likes Goyles.
He's a sadist. And, well, Sansa is kind of a masochist from the looks of it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think she's playing the role that she was designed to be played. Oh, and what about
Yeah.
You know, this isn't really a thing. We've kind of went over our problems. You know, the whole sleuthing bit by one of Littlefinger's whores. I mean, not a whore, former whore.
Rosie.
Yeah.
Rose.
Oh, he has
Rose.
2 beds with feathers in it. See, this is clearly proof.
Well, I mean, who would Littlefinger get a feather bed for other than Littlefinger?
Well, maybe one of his girls.
No, he's not. Well, we've plainly seen he's not into any of them.
How do you know that?
Well, season 1, when the 2 women are fucking each other, he's like, no, that's crap. No one believe that. Scream louder. Stick your thumb in his ass or something.
And when the northern hooker comes down to King's Landing, he's trying to teach her. He's a manipulator. He's a sociopath. He doesn't particularly feel anything. He's just looking out for himself.
So do you think
he would burn Westeros if he could be king of the ashes?
Right. That's what I was about to get on about. Do you think that's a legitimate worry that he has everything, influence and power? All he needs is an army, and he would be glad to be king of the ashes.
Yeah, I'd buy that. He's a treacherous little bastard who's not used to getting what he wants. So I think the second he's in a position to get what he wants, he's gonna start, fucking shit up.
Yep, and he did kill Ned Stark simply for the increase in approval from the king.
Oh no, he also killed Ned Stark because he's all eyed over Kate.
That was
that was part of it, but I think ultimately that was his big motivating factor.
It could be. He could be still holding the grudge over the fact that Ned took Catelyn from him. But I don't know. In my head, I just can't wrap my head around someone actually condemning someone else solely because of a woman.
Well,
hey Pedro, I'm gonna kill you and steal your girlfriend.
Well, not if I kill you first.
Can I watch?
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I mean, if you're really willing to risk getting killed just to take my girlfriend away from me,
I'm not gonna risk getting killed. I'm gonna like long distance drone snipe you or something. You won't even see it coming.
I have been shot. I survived.
Better luck next time, Led.
Yeah.
No, that's going to kind of wrap it up for our little bits. But what are we looking forward to next week? Did we get any previews? I didn't see any.
For Game of Thrones, no, they don't usually throw previews at the end.
Nope.
That's typical of HBO fare.
But
if you want to know what happens, you got to tune in next week.
Yeah, just to kind of summarize.
And we'll be there next week.
We will be there next week. But just to summarize it, Game of Who, Doctor Who, yeah, all right. Next week, they better make with the something. We're running out of episodes.
Oh, you had a little Game of Thrones bonus near the end, didn't you?
Yeah, I added that there because it showed up on my Google Plus timeline, and I think it's most of the description is really coming from the the abusive brother.
Yes, apparently that heart that she ate at season 1 was a giant gummy bear.
3 pounds gummy bear covered in fake sugar blood, as opposed
that actually
to
sounds
real
delicious.
sugar blood. Yes.
Yep.
All day long.
Well, then there it is. That's it right there. When you're looking at someone eating a heart, there's kind of only one way you can look, which is like you just kind of. It's fascinatingly disgusting.
Rawr.
Rawr.
But you were saying, Master Svang, we're about to wrap it up.
Yeah, so yes, if you want to see what happens on Game of Thrones, you got to tune in next week, and we will be here next week on Game of Who. You can check us out at gameofwho.com, and you can stalk us. Me at The Burning Pool or plus Jordan Svung, this guy at Venstone or plus Venstone, and that guy at Unaccounted For or plus Pedro Mateus.
And as always,
And
may the force be with you.
live long and prosper.
Wear a condom.